Your car has hidden reset tricks that dealerships don't want you to know about. These little-known methods can clear warning lights, fix rough idles, and restore performance, all without a mechanic touching it. Stick around until the last reset, because it's the one even professionals quietly use when diagnostics fail. Number 1. Reset for glitchy electronics. If your infotainment system freezes, power windows stop working, or your speedometer acts up, a full power reset often solves it. Simply disconnect the negative battery terminal for about 10 minutes, then reconnect it. This drains residual current from the system's capacitors and forces the car's electronic control units to reboot fresh. It's the same concept as rebooting a computer. It clears software glitches and resets sensors that may have frozen mid-data. Use this trick after replacing electrical parts or when warning lights refuse to turn off even after a fix. Number 2. Throttle body reset for smoother acceleration. Over time, your car's ECU adapts to your driving habits and throttle input, but when carbon builds up or the battery's been disconnected, those stored settings can cause hesitation or lag. A throttle reset forces the ECU to relearn the proper idle and throttle response. To do it, turn the key to the on position without starting the engine. Slowly press the gas pedal all the way down, then release it smoothly. Wait about 30 seconds and turn the key off. When you restart the engine, the throttle calibration updates instantly, giving you a crisp, more responsive feel. Number 3. Resetting transmission adaptive to stop jerky or late shifts. When your automatic starts hunting gears, shifting harshly, or feels sluggish, the problem is often the transmission control unit holding onto bad adaptive data. Most people think a shop tune or a fluid change is required, but you can force the TCU to relearn without expensive tools. First, disconnect the negative battery terminal for 10 to 15 minutes, or remove the transmission fuse for the same time, then reconnect. Next, drive a short learning cycle. Gentle takes from a stop to 40 miles per hour, a steady cruise for a few minutes, then a few moderate accelerations to highway speed, repeating the pattern for about 10 to 15 minutes. This forces the TCU to clear old shift maps and record fresh data from current sensor inputs, smoothing shift timing and often eliminating limp mode triggers. If the transmission had learned from bad behavior, towing, or a battery disconnect, this reset frequently restores crisp, predictable shifts without a shop recalibration. If you are enjoying the value provided, consider subscribing. Number 4. Resetting your O2 sensor and fuel trim without a scanner. When your fuel economy drops or the check engine light pops up for system too lean or too rich, most people rush to a mechanic. But here's a zero-cost hack that often clears mild issues tied to carbon buildup or fuel trim errors. Disconnect the negative battery terminal for about 15 minutes. Then, with the key in the on position, press the gas pedal all the way down for 10 seconds, release it, and then start the car. This process lets the ECU relearn idle and mixture levels, recalibrating the O2 sensor's response time. Once you drive for about 10 minutes, the fuel trims start to normalize, especially after short trip driving or low-quality fuel use. Number 5. The secret throttle reset that restores lost acceleration. If your car feels sluggish or the gas pedal seems lazy, your throttle body and ECU may be out of sync. This often happens after a battery change or months of stop-and-go traffic. You don't need tools or software to fix it. Here's how. Turn the ignition key to the on position without starting the engine. Wait 3 seconds, then press and release the gas pedal 5 times within 5 seconds. After that, hold the pedal down for about 10 seconds until the check engine light blinks. Release the pedal, turn the ignition off, and wait another 10 seconds. When you restart, your car's ECU recalibrates the throttle response curve, improving acceleration smoothness and reducing hesitation. Many owners report feeling like their vehicle just had a professional tune-up. Number 6. The hidden AC temperature recalibration. If your air conditioning suddenly blows warm air, even though the refrigerant is full, the issue might not be mechanical at all. It could be a sensor calibration glitch. Modern cars use a blend door actuator to balance hot and cold air, and sometimes it drifts out of sync. To fix this, turn your key to the on position, but don't start the engine. Set the AC to the coldest temperature, fan speed to max, and recirculation mode on. Now hold the AC and defrost buttons together for about 5 seconds until the lights start blinking. That blinking means the actuator is recalibrating. After a minute, the system resets itself, syncing sensors and restoring proper airflow. This can instantly bring back that icy cold performance without any service fee. Number 7. The battery disconnect reset. This one is so simple, yet it clears more AC and engine faults than most people realize. Disconnecting your car's negative battery terminal for about 10 minutes can reset your entire HVAC control module. Over time, the system stores weird learned data for the fan speeds, blend door positions, or pressure thresholds that can cause weak cooling. Once the power drains, the module forgets those bad habits. When you reconnect, it relearns everything fresh, optimizing airflow, temperature balance, and compressor timing. Just make sure you have your radio or clock code handy, because it will also reset. It's basically a free factory reboot that gives your AC a second life. Number 8. Use the recirculation mode strategically. Most drivers hit the recirculation button and leave it on forever, but that's a mistake. Recirculation mode is meant to cool the cabin faster by reusing air that's already chilled inside. However, when it's left on too long, moisture builds up in the system and fogs your windshield or creates musty smells. The trick is to toggle it. Use it when first starting your car to drop the temperature quickly, then switch it off after 5 to 10 minutes to bring in fresh air. That airflow balances humidity and helps the evaporator coil stay dry and efficient. This tiny adjustment can make a big difference in both cooling power and air quality. Number 9. Clean your condenser like it's gold. Your AC condenser sits right in front of your radiator, catching every bug, leaf, and speck of road grime that hits your grill. Over time, that buildup acts like a blanket, trapping heat and forcing your compressor to work overtime. The result? Weak air, high engine temps, and a system that feels like it's dying, even though it's full of refrigerant. Here's the hidden trick. Rinse the condenser gently using a garden hose or a spray bottle filled with water and mild detergent. Avoid high pressure, as that can bend the delicate fins. Do this every few months or after long highway trips. You'll notice colder air and a quieter compressor almost instantly. Number 10. Replace the O-rings before they leak. Most people don't realize that tiny rubber O-rings are the silent protectors of your entire AC system. They seal every joint and line connection, keeping refrigerant from escaping. But with time and heat cycles, these O-rings harden and shrink, letting that precious gas leak out slowly until your AC barely cools. Here's the hidden trick. Whenever you service your AC or top up refrigerant, replace all accessible O-rings with new lubricated ones. They're cheap, usually under $1 each, but they prevent the kind of leaks that cost hundreds in diagnostics later. If you smell a faint chemical or oil near your compressor or condenser, that's your early warning sign. Don't ignore it. Number 11. Run your AC in winter to keep it healthy. Here's a trick most drivers never use. Even when it's cold outside, you should run your AC for a few minutes every week. Why? Because the refrigerant in your system also carries lubricating oil for the compressor. If it sits unused for months, those seals inside start drying out, leading to leaks and reduced cooling power once summer hits. By switching on your AC occasionally during winter, you keep the system pressurized and lubricated. It also helps remove humidity from inside the car, which keeps your defogger and cabin air filters cleaner. It's simple, free, and extends your AC's life by years. Number 12. Clean the evaporator core. If your AC starts smelling like wet socks or mold, the culprit is almost always the evaporator core. It sits deep inside the dashboard and gathers moisture every time you run the system. That damp environment becomes a paradise for bacteria and mildew, which not only smell bad but also restrict airflow and reduce cooling efficiency. The fix? Use an evaporator cleaner foam spray. These cans cost under $10 as come with a long nozzle. Insert it into the drain tube or through the blower motor hole, spray the foam and let it dissolve all the grime. After a few minutes, water and debris will drain out under your car. Doing this once or twice a year keeps your system smelling fresh and blowing strong. Number 13. Replace your cabin air filter. A clogged cabin air filter is one of the most overlooked causes of weak AC airflow. Over time, it traps dust, pollen, and even small leaves, which eventually block air from reaching your vents. The compressor can work perfectly, but if the filter's choked, the system feels useless. You can find the filter behind the glove box in most vehicles. Pop it out, and if it looks gray or packed with debris, replace it immediately. A fresh filter costs less than $15 and can restore up to 30% of lost airflow. For extra freshness, pick one with activated carbon to trap odors and exhaust fumes. Number 14. Check for oily residue near fittings. If you ever see a greasy or oily film around your AC compressor, condenser, or aluminum lines, that's not normal. It's refrigerant oil leaking out. This small clue is often missed by drivers, but it's the first sign your system is bleeding pressure. And once the refrigerant runs low, the compressor overheats and fails, which can cost over $1,000 to replace. You don't need fancy tools to check this. Shine a flashlight under the hood and inspect every line connection and joint. If you notice any shiny residue, take it to a shop immediately before the leak worsens. Catching this early can literally extend your AC's lifespan by years. Number 15. Run the fan before shutting off the engine. Here's a trick most car owners have never heard of. Before turning off your car, let the AC fan run for about a minute without the compressor on. This helps dry out the evaporator core and the ducts, removing leftover moisture that could breed mold or corrosion. It's a habit used by professional detailers and mechanics who want to keep the AC smelling clean and lasting longer. That short minute of airflow prevents bacteria buildup, reduces wear on components, and makes the next startup instantly cooler. Think of it as giving your AC a quick cool down before bedtime, a tiny step that can save you a huge repair bill later. Bonus segment 1. Why do these tricks matter? Sometimes they can bridge out the frustration and control that we wish to have when something isn't acting right in our vehicle. Many modern cars rely on computers and software inside of them to adjust, learn, and store your preferred data for your vehicle. And sometimes glitches occur. Using these tricks can clear out those bad bits of information in your system, making it feel like a fresh start. If you choose to not clear out that bad information, then you would be running your vehicle on outdated or corrupted memory. Bonus segment 2. What to do. If these tricks don't work, there are cases where you have performed every reset correctly, but the problem still comes back. This can signal a bigger, deeper issue than you think. Such signals as the engine light returning on the dashboard immediately or performance not changing are only a few of what to look for. If you see and start to feel this ire that the issue can be bigger than you think, grab an OBD2 scanner if you already have one on hand to check what codes are popping up from your vehicle. If not, we recommend you get this vehicle checked by a professional technician to find out the deeper issue with the vehicle, because it can sometimes be a physical part that's not acting right. The resets we've mentioned only fix logic issues that can occur in the system, although it still does give you a sense of an idea of what the problem could be. Bonus segment 3. How much time do these reset tricks take? Most of these are pretty quick, and that's the beautiful part about them. If it's something small, it can take less than a minute once started, but if you're doing things like a battery reset, it can take around 10 to 15 minutes. You can also apply multiple resets at once. Just plan on taking about 30 minutes for waiting time, and do them in a safe location where your car is parked so that you are not rushing. Bonus segment 4. What to be cautious about when performing resets. These are just a few things to look out for when you are completing your DIY resets. Do not rush the process. Most of these resets require specific timing. Missing a step can cause the reset to fail, ultimately wasting more time to try and redo the reset. You also want to avoid working with the hot engine, especially if you will be handling any electrical components or disconnecting the battery. Let the engine cool for at least 15 minutes before proceeding. Another thing more related to the battery reset is to check your vehicle for radio or security codes and any other important information regarding the infotainment settings, because once the reset is performed, it flushes out every bit of data out of it. This one should also be common sense, but we will mention it anyway. Do not disconnect the battery while the engine is running. This can cause serious damage to electronics or cause voltage spikes. You should always perform these resets at a safe parked location, as we've previously mentioned, and be on the lookout for any any unexpected behavior, write it down, take notes what reset was performed, and if it made any improvements to said odd behavior. You also want to proceed with patience and precision. These two will help you perform smoother resets without carrying all the frustration on why something doesn't work, and will help you determine if those big issues are lying around. Keeping your car healthy is vital to ensure little to no disruption in your day-to-day life. What would the cost be for you to find valuable information like this to keep your car in top shape? Let's suppose this channel has that information readily available for you. If all it takes was some of your time to check those videos out, would it be a fair deal for you to obtain this data to help your vehicle? I encourage you to check them if it is, and please share this video with whoever else needs help with their vehicle, and I'll keep you guys posted on the next one.